Hello, Stu. This is Dimitris calling from Metalkaoz and Frozen Chicago. How are you?
Demetrius, great to see you, buddy. I think we've got a 80-degree day out here, so sun's shining, beautiful Sydney, bro.
Okay, I will let that. I will let it slide. Your well, you should enjoy. It's your turn to
Thanks,
have
mate.
summer, right?
Yeah,
I,
mate, we're heading into summer, so it's a good time of year.
I love the background, but I don't. I will not let it distract me. So, uh, Reign of Steel is the Death Dealers is Death Dealers first release through Massacre Records, right?
Correct.
I'm guessing, based on the fact that Empires of Eden and Night Legion are also in Massacre Records, has had something to do with that, correct?
Yeah, completely. I signed Night Legion to Massacre about eight or 9 years ago, and had a really good relationship with Thomas and the guys there. Since then, signed the Empires of Eden stuff, which is another story, and then we were looking for a home for this new Death Dealer album. It's our fourth album. We really wanted it handled right, uh, and we fought for a long time to make sure that we got the right deal with the right people, and that's why we're with Massacre.
Why did you say handle this right? Are you implying that the rest of the albums were not handled correctly or in the right way? What do you mean?
Yeah, so you know, the we had albums released through different labels. You know, the first album was released through one label, the second album was released through another label. The third album was released through Sean's label, Steel Cartel, and Sean's done an incredible job with that as well. But Sean is a one-man team.
Mm.
And what we needed to do was to make sure that when we released this new album, which we loved a lot, like this fourth album, we're really behind it. I wanted it in Japan. I wanted it in Australia. I wanted it in South America. I wanted it all over, you know. So, um, and there's no one busier in this world than Sean Peck. Our singer is like one of the busiest guys, incredible talent, and spreads very thin. And now he's getting involved in the comic world as well. So, like doing comics and things. Um, we just needed this one record given the attention that it can be given by one of the medium sized labels, and Massacre have been great.
Amazing. So, um, the way you described that, you had already the album ready before signing with Massacre?
Yeah, we did. So just after the COVID stuff, Sean and I finished writing the album. So we're talking 5 years ago, and we started tracking it. And as we heard these songs develop, we had 19 songs ultimately. We knew we were onto something special. And it was at that point where we started discussing what the future might look like. Now, we contacted Massacre, back in late 2022, and the deal with them, it took around 18 months to get the terms right. So,
Oh,
because, we just didn't want this album to fade away. It needs to be handled the right way. And so it took a little bit of time. Timing's right.
awesome. And I'm guessing that Son's experience having a record label, running his own, helped that to iron out all the details. Um,
Yeah, really good point. Yeah, good point.
I'm trying to, to ease the pain that you fired him, right? You left his
I
leg a
fired him.
record.
Oh, yeah. It was, hey, you know what? Sean was glad, mate, because he was handling, like I said, he was handling it as a one-man show. I think it
Yeah,
was, if anything, it was probably a relief.
really. Well, yeah, yeah, I know. Jokes aside, I was joking, of course.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
was there any specific reason why you picked Reign of Steel as the album's title? I tried to find anything,
Yeah,
any reference in the lyrics, but I failed. I don't have the lyrics.
yeah, totally, dude. This is the beauty of Death Dealer, as it's a truly, democratic type of band. We were talking about titles for the album, and as I look at the credits now, I actually look at the artwork now. You know, we had Rain of the Night is one of the songs. And I said, well, look, let's go with Rain of the Night. You know, it makes a lot more sense to do that. And Sean was really resistant to it. He's like, yeah, we could do that. Or, I don't know. And he said, what about Rain of Steel? And it sort of came out of nowhere. And I went, you know what? That makes perfect sense. And we both went, it doesn't have to be a song on the, like, it's so obvious to call the album a song, right? But off the album. But it kind of speaks a little bit to our longevity. Like, we've been a band now for 15 years. We've done a lot of touring. I guess this is the Reign of Steel, you know? So it seemed to just fit. And there are things in this creative space that I won't argue with. If it just looks right, let's go with it. You know, I'm not going to question or argue certain things. And I think it works really well for the album.
Yeah. I mean, man, you have the word steel there. It cannot fail, right? There you go.
Well, the song titles, bro, like Bloodbath, Blast the Highway, Dragon of Algarath, Devil's Triangle, like it's all metal.
Of course it is. Of course it is. And you've worked, you have worked with Dusan for the cover artwork. So did you give him just the album title or something else?
So again, this is a lot of the art direction comes from Sean. Sean's idea with Dusan was definitely the mech warrior type thing, you know. I thought it was a really cool touch to have the warrior women, you know, because my first concern was, are people going to think Death Deal is a chick band? Which is, you know, nothing wrong with that. But, you know, I'm not a girl. So, yeah, but and then I came up with the ice scape. You know, I'm a huge fan of the second Star Wars film, Empire Strikes Back. You know, obsessive. So I love the Battle of Hoth. So I wanted to get some sort of ice battle scene added in. And the other thing, to be really clear for your viewers, no AI, all human done, all done by people. So
yeah, I wasn't planning to ask that. It has become such a cliche. I mean, honestly, Stu, AI is a tool. As long as people know how to use it, I'm fine with that. Right?
I agree.
But I cut you off.
No, we're just talking creatively. It's cool. Look, what you're looking at is, you know, every inch of it has been carved out by a human hand, and he's done it all laboriously. I don't know how many hundreds of hours he spends, but yeah, it reminds me a little bit when I look at it now of kind of the Derek Riggs Maiden stuff, you know, where every second time you look at the album, you see something new in the cover. So, you know, that's what I'm real proud of with this. And, you know, it looks great on it. We got our merch out. It looks great on T-shirts as well. So,
are you talking about, although I'm jumping ahead, are you talking about tour merch or just in general merch?
Yes, we've got a Reign of Steel T-shirt available that anybody can buy.
Well, I was trying to be sneaky and see if you guys have already touring plans. So I was thinking T-shirt with dates on the back.
Oh yeah. Well, the first thing is my bags are packed. The real tough thing for us is aligning schedules when you've got Ross the boss in the band who's always constantly touring. Sean's very busy. You know, so just pulling all that together. I know we're too late for the 26 European festival circuit because that kind of gets booked 18 months in advance. But Sean's talking to some promoters now, so we're gearing up to try and get out and do this.
I have an easy fix. Bring all the bands that you guys are involved together, and you have your own, I don't know, festival maybe.
That's a great idea. Yeah, look, dude, I'll play. I'll leave now and go to the airport. That's how I am. So I've always got one of these in a flight case ready to go. So
your emergency bag is a guitar, right?
Oh yeah, no problem. Or I can call up a friend in some other country and just borrow one anyway. So it's no big deal.
What about the production? You did it with Son, and then you had Chris doing the mastering and mixing, correct?
Yeah, so Sean and I put the album together as far as coordinating the songs and coordinating the order and the performances. But in the last few albums, I've mixed and mastered purely out of financial convenience. But you know, there are better guys out there than me. So, and one of those guys is a guy called Chris Themelko from Monolith Studios in Melbourne, Australia. He's a rising talent, great kid, and he mixed and mastered this whole thing. So it's good for me because I could just hand it all over for a change and and listen to it as a producer. So we had this really great feedback process, but we were real happy with it how it turned out in the end.
And you have worked in the past with Chris, right?
Oh yeah, he's my go-to guy whenever I want drums mixed or if I, some reamping for guitars or anything difficult, he gets.
Then it makes sense why you decided to let him handle the mixing and mastering.
Yeah.
I like that in the press release it says that, quotes you, and it says that the album contains the longest continuous high screams ever recorded. So, is it Bloodbath or the Dragon of Alogorath?
The Dragon of Algorath.
Jeez, man, Sean sounds. I don't know how he does that.
Yeah. So let me tell you the story with that. So in that song, I had already designed to have a guitar solo over that section.
Okay.
But he didn't know that. And he came back to me, he's like, "What do you want to do here?" I said, "Look, you just do anything you want to do. That's cool." He laid down this scream that's so cool and goes for so long, but it goes up at the end. That's what blew. I'm listening to this going, when's this going to stop? And he videotaped him recording it. So there's proof that the guy can do it. Like, we didn't edit it together. There's no studio trickery. There's fucking none. It's all real. And his eyeballs are about to fall out of his face when he gets to the end of it. But I heard this and I went, I'm not putting a lead down over that. That's all you need. So yeah, that's one of the joys of working with Sean and the exciting things of Death Dealer. It comes through. It's like, wow, people have got to hear this. And I know people are going to read that in the press and go, it's been edited or they're lying. It happened. We've got video footage of it. We can prove it.
Oh man, I honestly I didn't question that because I know his son has a great voice and power in that. So anyhow, these days we question everything, right? Everything has been so. For that particular song, I may be wrong here. Did you split the guitar leads or solo with Ross?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the whole album is a 50-50 thing.
Okay.
Yes. Ross does the second part of Algorath solo. I do the first take. Yeah.
Because I think I picked his tone there. But you know.
I like as a guitar player, I think I really would like to think we're easy to hear. Ross has an incredible attack that I don't have. Where I'm just looking at the album to confirm that now. Yeah, Ross does the first lead, then I do the second lead. Ross does the third lead, and I do the fourth.
Okay, thank you for not proving me wrong.
Yeah. But you can really hear Ross's attack. That's the big difference.
And one thing I like Mike's bass tone and bass playing, and I love the two songs that I hear his parts higher in the mix. I'm talking about Raging Wild and Free and The Sleeping Prophet. Mike's playing always reminds me of Joy DeMaio, so this is why I picked those two.
Interesting. Mike is such a musical player. Mike will we'll send Mike a song and we'll be like, man, this sounds awesome. And then we'll hear what he did to it and go, whoa, well, now you've elevated it. Like, now I'm really excited because he just does things that I would never even consider being heard, and that's he's such a musical guy, so underrated.
Oh yeah.
He can do it all, and he's a sweetheart too. Like he's one of the nicest humans on the planet. So he should be very proud of his playing on this, and I think people will, hopefully give him the praise he deserves.
He's way not way, I cannot say that. He's down to earth guy, and he's very modest. I don't know. I mean, he has, as you said, his playing and his sound. I mean, I don't know. Yes, I agree. I hope
And chilled
people will
out.
pick
But
this out.
let's remember he plays in Symphony X. It's not like he's playing in a blues band, doing 12-bar boogie. Like he's playing some of the most technical stuff on the planet. So no, he's a total beast and a sweetheart to boot.
Absolutely. Sleeping Prophet. Is it so? Who is writing the lyrics first? I should ask that. Is it all Son?
Yeah, so all the lyrics and melodies on this album are Sean,
Mm-hmm.
and like 98% of the music's me.
Okay, because for the Sleeping Prophet, I started trying to see what he's talking about, and I found that he's talking about someone, Edgar Cayce, right?
Yeah,
Who's
yeah.
called the Sleeping Prophet. That's I like when there is something you can dig into in the lyrics. So, do you guys talk about the lyrics, or you let him write whatever he wants?
Yeah, if we talk about him, well, the first thing is I don't let him like no one lets Sean do anything. Sean does what Sean wants to do, which is great. These lyrics are great on this album because they do go deep. But I will give him concepts. Like I came up with the title of Dragon of Algarath, right? Like that's how I named the song. He did Raging Wild and Free, all the lyrics and to that, as I look at this. But he's really the lyrical mastermind.
Mm.
Riding on the Wings, he came up with all the lyrics. So that's again that teamwork where I'll come up with maybe 15 or 16 riffs, and sometimes I'll come up with full songs, and he'll just send me back pure gold, and that's what's happened on this one. But I tend not to get in Sean's way, and it's the same ethos I have for my Empires of Eden project. The singers write all the lyrics, they write all their own melodies. I don't get in the way of that. So what you end up with is this really cool flavor of a combined true effect, not just one guy's vision and that's it. That's the beauty of what we're doing here, and I think that's how songwriters should work: is let the singer be the singer, let the bass player be the bass player.
Mm.
Don't
Yeah.
get in the way of these people. If they do something you don't like, well, and they really like it, well, that's the gig. That's it. It's not about controlling every single thing. And I feel that way too. Like I do. If you hire me for a session, I kind of do what I do. You're
Right.
hiring me for me, so let me do what I do, and we do that here.
What you just described requires a lot of confidence and a lot of maturity, because some people are very they don't want anyone to mess with their stuff. But if you do what you're saying, then that's when magic happens, right? If you let the
Well,
people, yeah.
on the second Empires of Eden album that have just been released digitally this week, so they're all up on Spotify now, fully remixed and remastered. I've got Mike Viscera, who sang with Malmsteen and Loudness, and I remember working with him, and I sent him the tracks, and he said, "Oh, do you want to send me lyrics and melodies?" I went, "No, you do it." And he wrote back, gushing, just going, "I can't believe you're allowing me to do this. This is incredible. Like no one's ever allowed me to do that." And we ended up with a great result, So why not?
Yeah, absolutely. What about video clips? You released one. Well, it was not an actual, it's a visualizer, as we say these days. So have you filmed, or will you film a video? Although it's kind of difficult with being in different hemispheres, right?
Yeah. Practically, we want to get some videos done, and they do have to be visualizers. But we've put the lyrics in them. We've got photos of the band. But just on different continents makes it. We could do it with green screen and stuff, but
Sure.
I think we either do it right or we don't do it at all. And we have released some live performance video, like when we played Moscow. That footage is all out there. But for this release, until we can get together, it's going to have to be this way.
Yeah, totally understandable. And as we said, different continents. How did you record the record? Did you use different studios? You didn't come together in the same studio, I guess. I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, no. So much like this process, Sean and I will spend days and days and days like this. And I have a studio here. He has a vocal recording studio in his house, and all the different, like even Ross recorded in out in Brooklyn as well. So Sean and I work, kind of hand in hand like this, working on the songs. Then we'll send demos off to Ross and how's this doing. Sometimes we'll have a group chat like this. It would be impossible if we didn't, because you also want to tap into moments when the creative juices are flowing. If I flew to LA and we had 2 weeks, the pressure would be so high. I need to let things work when they work. So this is it. We used to schedule in 4 or 5 hour sessions on weekends and have that happen. And but it's all played, and we've got great players, so it makes it easy.
You know what? I would love to watch a session of you guys working on the album. It will be so. No, I'm serious. I'm not joking. It will be interesting to see. I don't know, 5 minutes of you guys, how you guys work, how you guys argue.
It's funny. Sean and I did post. It was a couple of years ago now. We posted a live video of us writing a song because we thought people would like to see that, and that was fun. I think we wrote a song while we were there, just a fresh one. But I think the important thing is 3 aspects: come prepared, be present and connected, and let the other person do what they need to do. And then that way you've got a really good a good blend.
Yeah. So again, I will ask you, what are your thoughts about touring? You said that you may have missed the window for the 2026 European festivals, but what else? What you guys are aiming for?
Look, the aim at the moment is, I'll jump a plane and go to America, and we can do some shows. I'd like to come over to the East Coast. I've never played shows. I played out of Miami on the Motorhead cruise, but I want to get over to New York and Florida and places like that. So that's a talking point at the moment. It's just about having it make sense for Death Dealer, because it's a global kind of get together. So I want to give you answers, but I don't have any good answers for you at the moment.
Well, you didn't mention Chicago, so you said New York, Florida, and you didn't say Chicago. So I hope that was a mistake.
Well, of course. Who doesn't want to go to Chicago? Only when it's warm, though. How are your summers?
Okay, so you mentioned Empires of Eden, and you said that you released all the material on Spotify, right?
Yeah.
Anything else that you may have been working on Empires of Eden, or even Night Legion?
Yeah, so for those that don't know, I've released 5 Empires of Eden albums, and the 30-second explanation is they've been called Empires of Eden and not Stu Marshall, because yes, I write all the music and I produce it and mixed it all, but the singers write their own lyrics and melodies, and it just didn't feel right to not have some sort of collaborative name around it. Only this last 5th album, I wrote a lot of the lyrics and melodies, so I called it Stu Marshall's Empires of Eden. Okay. So it's kind of like an Avantasia thing for those that don't know it. It's Udo Dirkschneider, Ralph Sheepers, Zach Stevens is on it. There's a whole, but the albums, I just didn't really have the mixing skill back in the day to get them sounding right. So this week, actually yesterday, Massacre digitally re-released all albums on Spotify, all remixed and remastered to a standard that I'm really happy with. So, I urge people to go and check that out. And what you're hearing 98% of the time is the singer writing all their own lyrics and melodies, and I've done everything else with guest guitar players. You know, I got Metal Mike from Halford's band playing solos and all that kind of stuff. But so that's happening, and a year ago I released the fifth album. So there's 5 albums in the package, and I'm going to do a sixth this year. I've got talking to Al Atkins, the original Judas Priest singer. Eric AK from Flotsam and Jetsam has recorded a killer demo, and I'm talking to a few other singers at the moment. So that's happening. And then Night Legion's my Australian power metal band. We've just finished writing our third album. It's with Massacre for Consideration. We just did a tour last year. So yeah, there's always something happening.
And you said that Son is busy, right?
What's that?
And you said that Son is busy, and you are extremely busy right now.
Yeah, Sean's flat out. Sean's always working, and Ross is always working. So then Mike's got Symphony X, for God's sake.
Right. So for Empires of Eden, will you do any physical releases or only digital?
Yeah, so because the albums had never been properly released, there was no sales record to actually do. Like when record labels want to release physical copy, they want to see whether there's been pre-sales or other sales, whether it's worth it. So it really wasn't handled well in the past. So they're looking at a lot of the digital movement to see whether we will. Thomas is talking about a little box set, which is fantastic. And I'd like to do some different vinyl splatter pressings and things like that. So that's on the cards for sure.
And last question: will we ever see a second a follow-up to Altered States?
Wow, you've really gone into the dark web of my history, right?
Dark web, come on, man.
Have you heard that album? Have you heard Altered States?
Honestly, no, but I would like to take it out.
Yeah, it sounds pretty terrible. That was the first solo album way before Empires of Eden. Look, it's so weird you asked that question. Literally this morning at 8:30, so it's 10:30 here now, I started recording an instrumental track called Highway, and I was thinking, man, I could probably do another solo CD, like a guitar thing. So look at you channeling into whatever energy is happening out there.
Absolutely. And should I mention also Arkenstone or not?
Yeah. So Arkenstone came about with a singer I work with, Louis Georgievsky from Melbourne, great singer. And it was just at the end of COVID when everyone was just totally depressed, and I just had all these great songs, and I went, man, I've got to get this out. And so we thought, look, we'll put out a 4-track EP, see if it has any interest in the market from people. And we did the clips, and we did the EP, really proud of it, and just nothing happened with it, man. Like it's just one of those things that just doesn't rise above interest levels for people to even ask. So it's shelved at the moment, but it's there, and that's on streaming as well. If people want to hear Arkenstone, very kind of power doom sort of stuff. We got Mike LaPon's playing bass on it. But yeah, lots of music, dude. Just too much music. My computer's still got albums and albums and albums of material sitting there. So what do you do?
And you earlier you said that you had 19 songs for the Dealer album. So yeah, it does sound that you have a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, it's great to have more material than you can use, right? Because
of course,
then you can, find the best of the bunch.
Yes. Stu, thank you very much for your time. My love to the rest of the band. And I don't know, you said Chicago, so I will hold you to that. Okay.
All right, mate. I'll tell you what. I'll make you a deal. If we do play America and we do come to the East Coast, we're definitely coming to Chicago. How's that?
I will hold you to that. If you don't, I will come looking for you in Australia.
And if for any reason we don't play there, I'll hunt you down for a beer on our way over.
Perfect. That's a deal, man. Thank you very much.
I can guarantee that at least.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, Demetrius. Thank you, mate.
Bye bye.